They said your home was sacred. They said police couldn't enter without a warrant, not for your safety, not for your guns, not for anything. But now, a brand new Supreme Court case could undo that protection. What if emergency aid becomes the government's new permission slip to step inside your home and seize your firearms? This isn't speculation. It's real. It's on the court's docket. And it could reshape how the Fourth and Second Amendments work together. I'm your host. And this is Gun Law Decoder, where we break down complex firearm laws into simple truth. No hype, just facts. If you believe your home should stay your castle, subscribe and share this video so every gun owner knows what's at stake. Let's decode the law. Chapter 1: The 9-0 ruling that shocked everyone. 1/23/30 in 2021, the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in Caniglia v. Strom. Police had entered a man's home and taken his firearms after a welfare call. No warrant, no crime. They claimed it was part of their community caretaking duty. The court's answer? Absolutely not. Every justice, liberal and conservative, agreed the Fourth Amendment draws a hard line at the front door. The government cannot treat your home like your car. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote, "The home enjoys special protection. What is reasonable for vehicles is not reasonable for homes." That decision was historic because it united all sides of the bench, a rare moment of constitutional clarity. It reaffirmed, your home is your fortress. And here on Gun Law Decoder, that's exactly the kind of precedent we live to unpack. Chapter 2: The New Challenge. Case v. Montana. Fast forward to a new case. Case v. Montana has reached the Supreme Court, and it's testing the edges of that same protection. Police responded to a call about erratic behavior. They waited outside for 40 minutes. Then, finding an unlocked door, they walked in again, without a warrant. Inside, they saw a dark object behind a curtain. One officer fired. The Montana Supreme Court said that was fine, claiming the emergency aid doctrine allowed the entry. Now the question is before the nation's highest court. Can police enter your home and seize firearms under a claimed emergency without probable cause and without a warrant? That's what makes this case so explosive. You're watching Gun Law Decoder, and this is where rights meet real-world consequences. Chapter 3: Emergency Aid vs. Probable Cause. Heart of the debate is a single word: reasonableness. Montana argues that officers only need to act reasonably if they believe someone might be in danger. The challengers, supported by several constitutional scholars, argue that's too vague. Reasonable belief can mean anything, from a noise complaint to a worried neighbor's phone call. The Fourth Amendment requires probable cause, concrete facts that justify a search or seizure. If the court accepts reasonableness instead, the threshold drops dramatically. It could mean more home entries, more gun confiscations, and fewer judicial safeguards. That shift may sound small, but legally, it's massive. And here on Gun Law Decoder, we break down exactly why these legal definitions matter. Chapter 4: Why it matters for every gun owner. Picture this. You're cleaning your rifle at home. A neighbor misinterprets the scene and calls it in as a mental health risk. Officers arrive, claim emergency circumstances, and step inside. No warrant. Under the Caniglia precedent, that would be unconstitutional. Under Case v. Montana, it could become reasonable. Once the line moves, it rarely moves back. This is not just a gun issue. It's a home rights issue, the intersection of the Second and Fourth Amendments. The right to keep arms means little if the government can enter your home at will to confiscate them. 4. Safety. That's why we at Gun Law Decoder say, the fine print matters more than ever. Chapter 5: The Dodge Steps. The Department of Justice has filed arguments supporting Montana's interpretation. That's a signal that Washington wants more flexibility for law enforcement. Gun rights groups from the Firearms Policy Coalition to GOA have jumped in on the other side, warning this could create a nationwide precedent, because once the Supreme Court speaks, every state listens. A single ruling could ripple across 49 other states overnight, changing how emergency home entries are justified. Here at Gun Law Decoder, we track those ripple effects so you can stay one step ahead. Chapter 6, What You Should Do Now. 12.0014. Awareness is your first line of defense. Know your state laws on emergency entry and firearm seizure. Secure your firearms properly, not just for safety, but to eliminate any pretext for confiscation. Document interactions during welfare checks. Join legal defense funds that protect gun owners in court. Constitutional rights don't defend themselves, people do, whether you own 1 firearm or 10. This case affects your right to close your own door. Stay informed with Gun Law Decoder, where every episode keeps you legally armed with knowledge. Chapter 7, Final Word in Tithe. Supreme Court once ruled 9-0 to protect your home. Now, if faces a choice, hold that line or move it. This is where the rubber meets the road for your Second and Fourth Amendment freedoms. So stay informed, stay prepared, and never assume your rights are permanent. They must be defended in every generation. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with every gun owner you know. Because when people understand the law, they can stand up for it. I'm your host, and this is Gun Law Decoder, decoding the laws that protect your freedom. Stay safe, stay ready, and stay free.